Now for the track guide. Before starting, if you want to improve at a quicker pace, check out GITGUDracing.com. Have a lot of courses that can help you with improving. Now going into the track guide itself, for turn 1 you want to position the car all the way here on the left side, really want to brush the gravel on the left side, and then turn 100% throttle all the way flat. Make sure you're using the steering wheel a lot because you really want to position the car in such a way that you are parallel with the grass before braking. And in terms of reference for braking, the moment that you start almost pointing the car straight, that's the moment that you want to be applying the brakes. Like right now, the car is straight, we have 0 degrees of steering wheel angle, and then we are braking. So reference for braking is actually the moment that you straighten up the car, and it will help to lift the throttle a little bit earlier than braking, like having this gap right here. This will be helpful because you can understeer where you're turning towards the right side, so this will fix it very nicely. Now when you're braking, super important to get as close as you can to the grass on the right side, having the left tires on the white line so you stay within the track limits. In third gear, you will get to second as you get closer to these curbs. And by the way, you should be cutting these curbs a lot. The suspension can take it, so go all the way here towards the gravel, hit the throttle the moment that you hit the curbs, and then for the next one, you will just upshift to third gear to make sure that the rear is not sliding, and then dropping the throttle. Once again, going over the yellow curbs, you should be going with the left tires on this green part of the curb. That's completely fine. And now shortening the distance, following the grass around here, cutting the curb, and going on the right side. Get as close as you can to these red poles, like almost going through them, because you really want to be hitting the white line, staying with the right tires on the white line. Reference for braking will be the moment that once again you straighten up the wheel because you're coming from this right-hander. The moment that the steering wheel is straight, like right now, 0 degrees, close to 0 degrees, you should be applying the brakes. You will go right here in third gear. Super important to take a late apex, so don't go very early here. Just hit it almost close to the kink in the white line. Press the throttle when you do that, and now the car should be pointed towards the right side of the white line. So there's a bit of concrete right here to the right side of the white line. Make sure you're using it, because if you're not using it, then you should be dropping the throttle. So keep the throttle pinned and make use of the steering wheel, make use of all the available track. Now reference for braking for this corner will be this blue light on the left side. Once you go past it, you should be applying the brakes. Now in terms of track usage, there's a bit of space towards the left side of the white line. Make sure you're using it. Once again, you're aligning yourself with the grass, not with the white line. And in terms of our approach, in fourth gear, the car will rotate a lot here if you just put just a little bit of weight on the nose of the car. So you don't have to go into third gear, you don't have to downshift. You just have to be a bit aggressive initially with the initial peak and then dropping it very quickly. That's going to be fine. Cutting the yellow part of the curb, and now it's just a big straight. So make sure you're going aggressive on the throttle, make sure you're pressing it as early as you can, and make sure you're getting that oversteer or that rotation early enough in the corner. You won't be trail braking a lot in that previous corner, but when you're pressing the brakes initially, you can really put a lot of weight on the front tires instantly. Now for this corner, reference for braking will be this yellow part on the wall right here. Make sure that once again you have the car aligned so that you're using all this space. The right tires should stay on the dotted white line. You're braking into this corner in fourth gear, going into third, and super important to trail brake here. Look, we're hitting the curb in third gear, still holding the brakes, So in between this chicane, you should be holding the brakes. Never drop them to 0. You might drop them to like 3-5%, but never drop them to 0. And when the car lands, after you cut the first corner of the chicane, in second gear, make sure the car is in the center of the track, and then you can bump the pressure once again, like we're doing right now. And in second gear, you're cutting the part of the curb, you're pushing the throttle very aggressively, get very close to this wall, and then quickly bring the car back towards the right side, so you're avoiding the off track. And now if you did everything right, you should be reaping the rewards on this straight. Now for this corner, we have the 100-meter board. So at the 100-meter board right here, we are applying the brakes. Same concept. You want to open the corner as much as you can. Align yourself with the grass. In this case, right tires being at the grass, braking very hard on the straight line, you really have to shave the speed. But when you're braking, make sure that you're holding 0 degrees of steering wheel angle to just maximize the efficiency on the straight line braking. And for this corner, you have to go all over this curb in third gear, still trailing, still trailing, still trailing in second gear. And once again, in between these two corners of the chicanes, you're not pushing the throttle, you're maintaining the brakes. If you feel the need to push the throttle, it means you over slow for the first corner. So still holding the brakes, still trailing, going with the right tires over the curb, and now pushing the throttle aggressively. You should be aiming to cross the white line, cross the curb, and then cross it back on your way out. This will be the faster line around here. And now once again, we are on the straight. Now, for this corner around here, you have the 100-meter board. Past the 100-meter board, you want to steer flat out. And when you're getting close and close to this curb right here, a bit harder to find a proper reference for braking, but you should be using a lot of checkpoints. So first, you have the 100-meter board where you start initially to turn the car. Just give it a little bit of steering wheel angle. Then you're seeing the blue light. You're going past the blue light, and then you are applying the brakes. You want to brake in a straight line. That was the whole point. You want to point the car here towards the outside, reach this cone on the left side, still hold the brakes, go to first gear. This is a very low speed corner, cut the curb, and then upshift to second a bit earlier so that you won't lose rear traction. Also make sure you're very close to gravel here on the left side. And now we are once again on the straight, reaping the rewards if we were early on the gas and avoiding, wheel spin. So that's the whole point of upshifting a bit earlier from first gear to second so that we won't have that wheel spin. Now for this corner, the 100-meter board or this green patch on the grass, when you're in the middle of the green patch of the grass, close to the end, you will start turning and dropping the throttle. You will be braking here very, very late in the corner. Like you can take this corner with a little bit of trail brake, like 1%, 5%, but you can also just do a big lift. That will give you the grip to turn to the right side. And then when the car lands and when you have 0 degrees of steering wheel angle once again, then you should be applying the brakes very, very aggressively. So the whole idea is to not have a lot of brakes at the same time when you're steering. That's the whole thing. So we want to just lift or add just a very tiny amount of brake, turn towards the right side. When the car lands, 0 degree steering wheel angle, then we start braking. We want to brake on this curb here on the yellow and blue with the right tires. And then in second gear, take a very, very late apex around here. Don't turn early because you will just run out of track. You will go towards the grass. So make sure that's not happening. Apex in the center of the corner. Now, this section right here, super important to get the timing right. You have the 50 board. Past the 50 board, you're going to be braking in second gear, apex in the center of the curb, and then push the throttle early. Make sure you're feeling the grass on the left tires, because if you're not doing that, it means that you didn't push the throttle early enough. And as you can notice, it's a big theme on this track. You really have to be early on the gas. The challenge is to avoid wheel spin, but that's a completely different story. Sometimes you have to upshift earlier. Sometimes you just have to apex a bit later. Now we're heading towards the final sector of the track. Reference for braking around here will be this green patch on the left side. In the center of it, you're going to be braking in fifth gear. We're using the brakes here just to make the car rotate. This is a high speed section. So when you meet the curb, then you push the throttle to 100%. The car should be in the center left. So not all the way in the center, but not all the way towards the left, because we don't want to compromise too much the entry into the next corner. So in fifth gear, when you get closer to the curb, you're going to do a throttle lift, but don't lift all the way to 0. So mount this curb completely over the grass, just like that, push the throttle back in, then keep the left hander. Once again, we're doing a lift, push the throttle back in. So really, really important to maximize the minimum speed towards this corner, because if you start to apply the brakes, besides the fact that the tire will overheat a tiny bit, you will also lose a lot of minimum speed. Now for this one, when we are close to this curb, you should be applying the brakes and downshift to 4th gear. Super important to not brake very hard, brake softer but hold it for longer, and now push the throttle back in. When you get in the center of the track, that's the moment that you should be applying the brakes. Once again, very soft on the brakes. Want to just push a little bit on weight on the front tires. This section is a very fast section compared to the previous ones, so make sure you're just maximizing the entry speed. And now avoid hitting these yellow anti-curbs. There's no need to go on top of them, just stick towards the curb, push the throttle aggressively, and now make sure that you're maximizing the entry into the next corner, taking the shortest spot possible, just like that. This is all flat out. Now, preparing this corner, you really have to use this space towards the pit entry, so make sure you have the left tires still on the tarmac. Don't go all the way towards the right side so that the left tires are hitting the inside part of the white line. Brake in a straight line, just like that. In 4th gear, 3rd gear, going completely over the yellow anti-curbs, and now still holding the brakes. This is very important. It's a very important trick in this section. Make sure you're not dropping the brakes while you're holding this curb, and while you're going with the middle of the car in the center of the curb, make sure you're still holding the brakes engaged, 2%, and now pushing the throttle. You don't have a lot of time here. Generally, the goal is to get to 100% throttle. You reach 80, 100% ideally, and then you're going to be braking again in 2nd gear. Cut as much as you can this curb, push the throttle the moment that you hit it, and now drop the throttle once again. Press the throttle back in after you hit the second part, and super important to exploit those curbs. It feels bumpy, but the suspension can take it, so there's a lot of time to be gained if you're cutting those curbs a lot. But in short, that's the lap. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. Once again, if you want to improve at a quicker pace, check out GITGUDRacing.com. Go setups, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next one. Bye bye.